This meeting is now called to order. Good evening and welcome to the January 27, 2022 meeting of the Southeast Delco Board of School Directors. Would you please stand and salute the flag and have a moment of silence? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Butler, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, you may, Madam President. Mrs. Abney,
Present.
Ms. Perry,
Present.
Ms. Monroe,
Present.
Mrs. Peter Kelly,
Present.
Ms. Woodfolk,
Present.
Mrs. Washington,
Present.
Mr. Fowler, absent. Ms. Crawley,
Present.
Ms. Harris Johnson,
Present.
Dr. Winder,
Present.
Mr. DiOrio,
Present.
and Mr. Butler, present.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. I do only have one comment at this time. We had an executive session prior to this meeting, and that would be
Legal matters.
legal matters. Thank you. Dr. Winder, do you have a superintendent's report?
Not at this time.
Thank you, Dr. Winder. Now we're going to do the approvals. Do I have a motion to approve the January 2022 agenda as submitted?
I make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve minutes for the December 16, 2021 regular board business meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Are there any questions on the bills? Hearing none. Do I have a motion to approve the bills for payment in the amount of $7,356,976.11?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Questions on new business items? Are there any? Go ahead, Mr. Butler.
Madam President, I'd like to recommend two items to be tabled under Finance Agenda, item number 2, and under the Human Resources Agenda, item number 9. So under the Finance, it'll be approval for items 1, 3, and 4. Under HR, it will be approval for items 1 through 8 and 10 through 16.
I make a motion that we table the two items that, finance item number 2 and HR item number 9.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve education items 1 through 3? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I went down too far. Go back up to questions on new business. Are there any questions on education items 1 through 3? Are there any questions on finance items 1 through 4?
Madam President, I have a few questions.
Yes, Ms. Monroe.
So for item number 3, I just would like to know how many other companies did we get information from? And then is there a website currently for this company?
Madam President, I'll respond. So for this item number 3 under finance is for the ratification to hire an education consultant in reference to the comprehensive planning. To answer the question, there was only one organization that was interviewed, and that is the organization that is on the agenda. And I apologize, Ms. Monroe, you had there was a second part to that.
Do they currently have a website? I know that I asked this question
And-
before in the website. I was trying to get some information on
Yeah,
it.
no, the organization does not have a website. I do have a bio and a resume for review.
Okay, is there any way that we can table number 3? I think that since this company is not even a year old, I would really like to see what comprehensive planning and implementation they have done.
I agree.
Okay, well, I just have one point of reference. So the timeline that Dr. Winder reviewed at the Committee of the Whole is very tight and concise. And if we go out to seek out other organizations, we're not going to meet the timeline to submit the comprehensive plan.
So could the administrators, during the time we're putting out the bid for other agencies, can't they do that information? And it'd be so that, I'm sorry, let me finish, let me
Rephrase?
Yeah.
I have a question while you're collecting your
Yes,
thoughts, Ms. Monroe.
please.
I have a question, $138 per hour.
So we use what DCIE uses for there. So the contract that we have with this particular person is the same contract we use for DCIU to do our social emotional learning.
Okay,
So we didn't give them an opportunity to make a bid to us. We said, this is all we.
So they currently provide SEL? They currently provide SEL services?
No, that's what DCIU does. So we use the same mode of the contract and followed that path.
The only concern I have is that this company is not even a year old. 2, there's no literature. It's nothing I can back it up with. I know we're in a deadline because of timeline, but at this point, I would really feel more comfortable if we can go with someone who has a little bit more established.
And are there supporting documents for this particular company?
I have, as I said earlier, I have the bio and the resume for this organization. It is very extensive, and I will say that this company will have absolutely no problem in providing the
Executing.
service.
Executed?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, I trust your judgment.
Yes.
So what other districts have they done a comprehensive planning and implementation for?
So this person is an independent contractor. This company does work in Texas, independent school district, Manor Independent School District in Texas. They do work in New York. They are executive coaching. Person was superintendent in several school districts, and a variety of accomplishments that I will say are pretty impressive. Again, this bio and the work that we've seen is high quality, and
So do we have any of the work? That's what I basically.
Oh, yeah, could you forward it to the
Mr.
board?
Butler,
is what we're
can you
asking.
just forward everybody a copy?
Sure.
All the board members.
That's fine.
Thank you.
And one thing.
Mr. Butler, does this person have any documentation that she can provide the board? Like with this Texas, New York?
I have it.
Her other, no, the document, the one that she provided for them, their literature. I know you have a bio, you mean like a brochure?
I guess I
There's no
could
brochure.
request that, but I don't know whether we've done that for any other companies that have provided services. We have contracts with individuals currently, and we have not, it has not been a part of the practice for them to supply us with information before we contract with them.
So the only reason why I'm asking these questions is because I went to look this company up. The only thing I found was the Better Business Bureau of the company in Connecticut or Rhode Island. All I got was their EIN number. There was no website. There was no reference points. I couldn't go to another school's comprehensive plan and look at it. I couldn't in any state in the United States. So that's what I would like to know.
All right, so this is an LLC. So a lot of LLCs do not have websites. That's, some do and some don't.
Right.
They just provide educational services as independent contractors.
So
So-
why, excuse me, Mr. Butler. So the other thing that must be understood as we look at the timeline is that this person is to help do things like interview the staff, because the staff is not going to be honest to us. And one thing, when we do this comprehensive plan, it needs to be true. It needs to have the brazen facts. Our staff, our students, our community have been through chaos. The entire 3 years that the plan we have has been in place. And if we want to even remotely be able to touch and meet their needs, we have to hear from them. So the administrators, if you look through the plan, Brenda G. Winder is doing the majority of the work. But I want people to be honest, and they're not gonna be honest to me, to Dr. Ryan, Mr. Lowry, as they would in a closed, so she's doing like the interviewing, maybe typing some stuff, because for the website, the portal, there's only one person that has access to that, and that's Brenda G. Winder. And so this person is doing some small things to help us make sure we can get the honest truth. Even with the other stuff, the surveys, Dan is sending them out. But then she's gonna get the data for us so that there's no doubt in anybody's mind that we skewed the data. If they say we get a very dissatisfied, it is important that we know that. If they say we get a very satisfied, it's important that we know that. So what we're trying to do is get a person who is not connected to just collect that data. The true work, the deciding what strategies will be used, that is what our administrators are paid for. To decide what kind of implementation of a plan is gonna happen, we're gonna do that. She's just being the boots on the ground for us. For example, I get paid to do a lot of work, just like this. I get paid to do it. I don't have a website. I don't have time for that. I got a district to run. But I'm qualified, I'm bona fide, and I definitely got the smarts. So a website, and because I've used people who have websites, and that's all it is. They spend all their time making a website and less time being very good about their work. But I just don't want it to be any mistake about what this person's gonna do. She's gonna do some of the runaround so that the administrators can do the work. But we do need the bare truth in order to move our district further and better and more practical for our families. So that's what this is all about.
So thank you, Dr. Ryan. So I just want to be clear. So she's going to do the runaround for $138 per hour, and the total amount not to exceed $12,420.
No different than what the DCI did. to DCIU. They surveyed our staff.
But they
put
have
the reports
credentials and
together.
there's somewhere we can go to see the finished product.
Well, Craig is going to forward us her resume, this person's resume, so
And
that
just-
we're abreast of her credentials.
And just to be transparent, I make $250 an hour to do this work. For Del State. I'm just telling you. So
So it's a
I'm
reasonable,
getting,
you say that to say this is a reasonable fee?
I'm saying that to say, we're
Okay.
getting a steal.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good information for us.
And I have my check stubs to prove it to you. For 2 hours, I make $600, just really
So
$300.
that's good information for us to know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Are there any other questions on finance items 1 through 4? Are there any questions on human resource items 1 through 16? Are there any questions on policy items 1? Ms. Washington, are you okay? Okay. Are there any questions on property items 1 through 3?
Madam
Are
President,
there-
I'm sorry, policy. So what are we doing? So we affirmed it, so we're just, because this is a new year, are we saying we are reaffirming the commitment, or are we confirming the commitment again for the 2022 year? Because we already confirmed it for 2021. So are we reconfirming or are we confirming? Does it matter?
So this is going to be a reaffirm
Okay.
because there are new board members.
Okay.
That when we affirmed it earlier, approved it, they were not on the board. So this is just another opportunity to include all the board members so that they have an opportunity if they would like to sign the document.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any questions on property items 1 through 3? Are there any public comments regarding agenda items, Ms. Monroe?
These are non-agenda items, Madam President?
Non-agenda, correct.
Yes.
You're not in the mail?
No. Okay. It's in the wrong place. New business voting. Do I have a motion to approve education items 1 through 3?
I make the motion.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve finance items 1 through 3 and items 1, 3, and 4? I'm sorry.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Abstain.
Who abstained?
I do.
Okay. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve human resource items 1 through 8 and 10 through 16?
I make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve policy item number 1?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose.
Motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve property items 1 through 3?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Woodfolk, do you have a report for Delaware County Community College?
No.
Ms. Monroe, do you have a report on Delaware County Intermediate Unit?
Not at this time. I just have some legislation. That's about it.
Okay, thank you. Since Ms. Fowler is not here, and Ms. Monroe said she has some legislative council information, would you please read that?
Yes, so I know I've been talking about House Bill 1332. That is the posting of the curriculum for every district in the state of Pennsylvania. That did not pass. It is back in the Education Committee. Also, substitute teacher shortage. This is House Bill 412. It's the day-to-day sub. So now that is called Act number 91, which provides the school districts in entirety to have a day-to-day sub flexibility for the 2021 and the 2023 school year by allowing retired teachers to fill teacher vacancies on an emergency and short-term basis. So I think that's a good thing for us. We have a lot of teachers that retired. And I believe that was it that concerned us. That is all, Madam President.
Thank you. Ms. Crawley, do you have a report on the Parents Student Advisory Committee?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Diorio, do you have a solicitor's report?
Not at this time, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Is there any administrative updates? Dr. Winder?
Not at this time, Madam President.
Thank you. Are there any public comments regarding agenda items? Nine.
Yes. Madam President, if you just give me a moment, a faithful member of the community that always used to come and support the school board members and the meetings, Mr. Tony Scott, he has passed away. His funeral was 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So if we can just have a moment of silence. He was very faithful to
Yes, he
us
was.
and our community.
Thank you. Moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
The first one is from our own dear Mr. Lance Bogash. He said, "Hello, Teresa. I wanted to wish you and the board a thank you for all you do since January in the School District Recognition Month. I know that it is not an easy job. Your dedication is evident. Your unpaid service does not go unnoticed. Happy New Year's to the board. Best wishes and thanks, Mr. Bogash, Knights Academy."
Thank you for that.
This is from Casey Joyner, Academy Park Class of 2022, 2037 Heather Road, Fallcroft, PA, 19032. With the concern regarding Academy Park, there's a lot of small things that seem to fall through the cracks. Looking back into most of the student-to-student altercations, students seem to only receive a suspension, then are allowed back into the school. This spike may concern with them becoming a safety hazard for other students, which in this case it has. With the incident that occurred on Friday, January 21st, there was a plan of a physical altercation with a student who then brought a weapon to the school. To my knowledge, the student had gotten into an altercation before during this school year that left another student bleeding from their face. This student was allowed to return to school after showing they were a safety hazard to have around other students. A lot of this behavior comes from the changes that were made for the better of the students without taking the students into consideration. Taking away a principal that cared for the students and showed them common decency and respect to a guy that comes in to fix the school. This new change sparked a lot of negative connections with the kids. Mr. Volt, the new principal of County Park High School, had said in the statement that he only knows the kids that are labeled as troubled students. With this being a concern of a principal not caring about all of the students at Academy Park but admitting to it, I, as a student athlete, am involved in many activities and clubs in Academy Park, but this year I don't feel safe to come into the building. If you look around to other schools in the area, students are treated with respect and want to be involved. The difference here is that we aren't treated like young adults. We are treated like we have no control on our lives. I have been in Southeast Delco School District since kindergarten, and now, as a senior in high school, going into the school, I am scared of losing my education to others that show no regard to learn. As a student and a member of this community, we need to change and involve the students in decisions that will take place affected on their education, on their academics and personal lives. Thank you. That is all, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Monroe.
Thank you. A lot of the email was statements, but I do want to say, in a manner of involving the students in decision, we are in the process of contacting each principal to give us a name of a student, grades 6 through 12, that can participate in our strategic comprehensive plan so that we can have some student voice. Okay. You're done, Ms. Simone? First up, we have Mr. Tom Weber.
Mr.
Weber.
Mr. Weber, you have 3 minutes.
And you
Hello?
need to
Okay.
state your name and address.
Tom Weber, 1523 Bayard Avenue, Fallcroft, Pennsylvania. As the card states, I'm just concerned about the lighting in the auditorium at the high school. I did get a chance to speak to the director of buildings and grounds before the meeting. And he said they kind of started working on it. They had a generator problem and they were looking, while the gentleman was there, he did get a chance to, review it. But it's becoming a safety concern. The whole right side of the auditorium, the lights flash on and off at a fast enough pace that, it could possibly cause a seizure issue with somebody that has seizures. This has been going on for, going on probably 3 years now. It was the left side for a while, they fixed that, now it's the right side. If we could get that addressed, it's a safety issue, and it's an embarrassment to the school district when we have other, people coming in. So I was just hoping that could get addressed. And then the second topic on there is the stage lights for the upcoming district musical. There are several lighting fixtures that are out. I spoke with Mr. Nurse. May just be some bulbs that need to be replaced, and it may need to be some fixtures that need to be looked into. With the stage right side is extremely dark, which again, not only for just lighting, so you can see all our phenomenal students up there doing what they do best. It becomes a safety concern also, with the dark stage. So if we could get those, on, a quick repair order or at least a timely repair order would be appreciated. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Butler?
Just following up on the last report, Mr. Curry, our facilities director, and I have been in numerous conversations about what's going on with the lighting over at the high school and some other items that need to be repaired and enhanced. So it is a priority for us. I witnessed it the other day, and we had conversation about it. So we're moving forward with investigating more further and then coming up with a recommendation to rectify that situation.
Thank you.
Next, we have Patrick McGowan.
Mr. McGowan, would you state your name and your address? And you also have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Patrick McGowan, 421 Clifton Avenue, Sharon Hill. I'm here, obviously, the concern from Friday's incident over at the high school. First of all, let me say I applaud first responders for getting there so quickly and being so diligent. But there's a bigger question. Why did it even have to happen? It brought up a lot of feelings about how Columbine went down in 1999. I just graduated high school in 98. I was in college. And at that time, right after that, I remember coming to the school board meeting with my mother. And we asked the school district, what is your plan? Can this happen to us? The answer we got back in 1999 from the school board and the current administration, we don't want metal detectors in our school. It's going to make us look like we're an inner city school. And we don't have that problem. I think it's pretty safe to say we have a problem. This is not the first time that school has gone into lockdown. I think it's pretty safe to say that our children over at that high school are smarter than what we give them credit for. To the point, they know that every 12th kid, when they do these searches, gets picked out for the search. So what does the kid do? They move up a couple or move back a couple because they know how to game the system. Or they befriend the current security guard because they know that they're less likely to get searched. Or they know to come to the school late because they don't get searched late. Or they also know that if your little chip thingy doesn't work, that they'll just wave you right in. These are not hypotheticals. I spoke to my daughter, who's a senior in high school. I spoke to one of my nieces, who is a sophomore in that high school. I've spoken to their friends. This is not hyperbole or this is actually things that are really happening. My question to Dr. Weinberg, to the administration, to this school board is, what are you going to do about it? I am shocked that there was no superintendent report to at least address that we are looking into the safety concerns. I am shocked that there was no mention of it. Now, I know legally you might not be able to say things because you guys are still investigating what needs to happen. But how are you going to tell your constituents and your taxpayers that our kids don't matter for whatever reason? Ms. Norfolk, last year in the virtual meeting, you made a comment when we were talking about, are we going to go back to school virtually or in person? Your comment, and I quote, was, I would rather have a dumb student than a dead student. So what does that say? That was talking about virtual learning. So are we okay with a dead student? Because, in this case, it was just maybe a BB gun, but what's going to happen next time? So I'm asking this board to look into it in a timely manner to get metal detectors. Appearances be damned, we need to safeguard our students. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. McGowan. Just so you're aware, we did not make a comment in the superintendent's report because our expectations were that parents would have comments or emails and then we would respond at one time. We have already begun the process back in September for our metal detectors. And if you go on the district website, we have on there our safety measures. We did an all call to say that they were out. We did an all call to say we updated them. On the right-hand side, it says investigating metal detectors. We started that process. We sent our building principal, our safety director, and our assistant superintendent to see another school and see how they move along with getting the kids in and out, all the pros and cons. We also have the price quotes now to move forward. So we had already started the process and we're moving through it because we, like you, feel that's necessary. And honestly, when we decided to bring our kids back to school, that was one of the questions I had asked. I had not seen them in school under my tenure. They had always been virtual. But that was one of the things I had asked when we had a session talking about discipline in our schools when I met with the administrators. So we are in agreement, not disagreement, that time is here, that we must have metal detectors. We must increase our security. But there are also other things, I don't have the list in front of me, on the website of other things that we want to do as well. So we want to keep our kids safe and our staff safe, and we want to be a viable part of the community, and that is in the process. However, it just happens to be everything's moving a little slower in this pandemic than we want it to. But thank you for your remarks, and we are on the same page.
Thank you, Dr. Winder. The announcements of future meetings of the board. Committee of the whole meeting will be Thursday, February the 17th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Board business meeting will be Thursday, February the 24th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.